Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Pay attention, son. This is for your own good.
Look at me, I'm a big shot. I have a phone. I don't wake up in a dumpster every morning. I probably have a pocket to keep my phone in, too.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guess who's going to jail tonight?
I love jello pudding pop.
God's gonna post my bail tonight.
Love jello pudding pop.
Pleased to present for your consideration.
Well, let's start the insanity.
Theo, you mixed the jello with the...
I still haven't bought pudding pops. I haven't even looked, but I want them. That was an important part of my childhood.
I told Susan, I think I'm going to start with my impeccable Cosby impression. She said, "You've already done that." I said, "It's fun to do again."
People love it.
Because I don't do anything else. I just say Theo,
yeah,
jello pudding pop, and then just drift
noises.
off into nothing.
Hey, we're back on location.
That's right.
We enjoyed my living room so much last week that we're back.
Yeah.
Smaller table. I don't know how you feel about that.
I'm good with it.
I went with the smaller. You got a lot of equipment, but it seems like it all fits.
It all just barely fits.
Yeah.
And, no, I kind of like being in the living room, to be honest. And we're doing it the Sunday nights. So we used to record on Wednesdays. This is a little inside baseball.
That's right.
For the folks at home. I used to record Wednesdays. And by the time it would come out Monday, it had that not so fresh feeling. And so this is a little more fresh, you know? It's a little bit, even though I don't have any news stories or anything tonight.
What's not so fresh feeling? What commercial was that? Like Massengill or something?
I think it was from an SNL skit.
No, but it's an actual commercial.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like a feminine hygiene product.
I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
I just remember it from SNL.
It was the not so fresh feeling. Yeah, it kind of did. So now, you know, it's more work for you, right? Because you got to record it, edit it, turn it right around for the next day.
It's not bad.
But I tell you this, I'm typically driving when the pod drops on Monday, and I love getting that notification. I'm like, oh, Josh is working. Josh put in the work.
I don't really have a set time. Monday is kind of sometimes my day off because I work weekends a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so Monday I usually chill a little bit more. So I just wake up and first thing I normally do is do the podcast. So
yeah.
So it just depends. Normally it's early afternoon when I get it posted.
So now it's much fresher.
I'd love to have what time is it, by the way? Okay. I'd love to have the stamina to go home after this and get it edited so it can be up at midnight.
I'd never be able to do that.
Can't do
No.
it. Can't do it.
Nope.
After Sundays, I got to go home and veg out on a Sunday evening.
I took a big fat nap this afternoon.
I thought you were going to say something else. Did you?
Have I done that yet? No, I don't think I did that yet today. I will.
That's called TMI, folks. TMI at home.
Yeah, man. I slept for a couple of hours this afternoon.
Well, you did.
I was exhausted.
Christoph this morning, he's on our worship team, and then he teaches an adult Sunday school class between our two services. And today he also preached.
Yeah.
And I tried talking him out of playing bass.
Yeah, I didn't
but
listen.
He was in.
No.
And so he practiced bass or did our rehearsal, played bass first service, preached, adult Sunday school, bass, preach.
Yeah, man.
Like just back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, it was solid. Kept me out of trouble this morning.
You normally get in trouble at church?
Not usually. But I was pretty whooped by noon. Yeah. So I came home. I didn't even eat lunch. I told my wife I'm taking a nap. I walked in the door, got in bed.
Didn't even eat lunch.
Nope,
Man.
just crashed. And then woke up and I did the groceries. And I bought some steaks.
Oh, yeah.
So, as soon as I got back from grocery store, I had to grill up the steaks.
It was on.
So I got a full belly of beef. There's some steaks in the kitchen for you if you want.
Oh, we might partake after this.
I
had fish sticks for dinner, so
okay, yeah, you need to get
surf
out
and turf.
Yeah, I got 3 varieties because I never know what my family's going to want to eat.
Yeah,
got the cube steak, which everybody loves except for me. It's like a hamburger.
Don't get
right?
it. Don't get it. Don't like it.
I got some sirloin medallions.
I like medallions.
Yeah,
anything with the word with the word medallions in it. Like Olive Garden used to have steak medallions.
Yeah,
Alfredo.
Yeah, so these are like just tender cuts, but they're small. And then I got bone-in strip. So it's not like a T-bone because it doesn't have the fillet on the one side. It's just the sirloin on the other.
I like
They're
strip
good.
steak.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I returned. My parents have been out of town, so I borrowed their car to take my kids to a concert, which I'll get into a couple stories on that later. But took my kids to see an artist, Toby Mac and Crowder, and some other artists. It's like their favorite artists, which happened to be one of my favorites growing up. So.
Right. That's crazy that somebody you listened to growing up is still putting on a show that your kids are listening to.
We were playing their old school stuff. For anyone who's not into 90s and 80s Christian music, it was a band called DC Talk that I was into. We were all pretty much into if you're a youth group kid. And, so I was playing their old school stuff. And then that guy broke out and became his own thing, Toby Mac. And so we went and saw him. But I borrowed my parents' car because I didn't want to take my truck that distance. Yeah. For many reasons.
Did your parents know before now that you borrowed their car?
Yes, okay, I did ask.
That's good.
But I didn't say I'm going to keep it for 4 days until you get back into town. So I had to return that today.
Yeah.
Picked up a grill. Someone gave me a camping grill.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was going to buy one anyway. And so people in our church were like, hey, you want a camping grill? Nice Weber grill? I'm like, heck yeah. So
is it like low profile, collapses down, can pack it? Is it the little cans of propane? Is that how that works?
Does either or.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a pretty legit grill.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Is that what you cooked your fish sticks on tonight?
Nope.
Oh.
No, I did oven.
Oh, okay.
I haven't cooked on a grill in a while.
I like fish sticks. I know people frown upon the fish stick like it's the poor man food, and maybe it is.
These were beer battered, too.
Maybe that's why I like it.
These were beer battered, too.
That's a broke dad fave right there.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Ain't nothing wrong with a fish stick. They do make... I feel sick generally after eating them.
Oh, yeah.
But I still eat them.
Yeah, it's like going to McDonald's.
Have you ever seen the fish that they make most fish sticks out of?
Somebody was trying to pull up a picture of that for me the other day and couldn't. It's a gross looking fish, right?
When I was a kid. It's real gross. When I was a kid, we went to we were in, I think, Oregon or Washington State, and we went to a aquarium.
Yeah,
and they said, "Oh, that's the type of fish," and it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I think it only had it was flat and it had both eyes on one side. I don't know. It was crazy looking. Crazy. Looking.
Is that a flounder?
They do make flounders.
I don't know what kind of fish it is, but don't judge a fish by its cover because he sure does taste good.
It tastes all right.
Right?
Yep.
I'm telling you, you batter it and fry it. I'll try it.
So I took my kids to that concert. I was saying it was in Omaha. So it was about a couple hours away from us. And at one point, I was telling my son, Jesse, who's really into Toby Mac, I was saying, I was telling the story of how he used to be in this other band that I listened to. I was like, let's listen to some of their music.
Yeah.
So we're playing their music. We're 2 or 3 songs in. And at one point, he puts his headphones on. I'm like, all right, he wants to listen to his own music. So about 10 minutes later, I look over and I notice his headphones are not plugged in anything. He just didn't want to hear he'd rather listen to nothing than Dad's music.
Oh, yeah.
And when I called him on it, he's like, oh, no, I just wanted to hear quiet. Like he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but he wasn't down with the DC talk.
That's funny.
Although we were listening to it, he liked it, but I don't know.
Yeah. But there's something about that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just wasn't in that moment.
He just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
Headphones, nothing attached.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess that's the end of the podcast. All
right. See you, folks. Have a good night.
Yeah, I did have. Let me see if I have anything else related to that trip before I jump, because I don't want to be all over the place. No, I don't think I do. I think that's all I had. I do have something exciting to talk about, but I'll save it for a little bit.
Is it news?
It's news.
There's developing information.
But let me get to first. I have news first.
That's a good tease.
I got an angry message on Facebook this week
about the
from
podcast?
someone in our family about the podcast.
Oh, no. Really?
Our nephew Ryan was not happy with my Batman review.
Oh, really? He disagreed.
Yes. He said it's his top 5 movies of all time.
Really?
And my response was, it's not even in the top 5 Batman movies of all time.
Oh man, that's a strong disagreement.
So I invited him on the podcast, and I said,
"Are we calling him tonight?"
I said, "Let's debate it." And he said, "I'd have to watch it again to debate."
Okay.
So I think if you can't stand on your convictions tonight, then I win. If you don't,
so you couldn't meet your timetable, so you win.
That's right. That's how
that
the
works.
rules go.
I don't know about that.
I laid out my case for him. I said, "Look, man,
maybe I
wasn't even a good detective.
I need to see it. Maybe I'll be the decider."
Okay. Yeah, you can see it. I have seen a couple other posts of friends that have said it's their favorite Batman movie ever. So I know he's not alone in that. But
really,
I think people just have bad taste.
I would say.
I just don't.
And maybe it is the best of all time. I don't know, but I'm hard pressed for you to beat Heath Ledger as Joker.
No, yeah, it's not.
Like he was ridiculous in that movie.
Can't be done. Even the bad guy in this. I mean, he was okay.
It's the Penguin, right?
If you want to see a better version of this movie, I'll give you two movies to watch that are better versions of this exact movie. Number one, Seven. The movie Seven.
That's a great,
you will see a
great
better
flick.
version of this bad guy because
Yeah.
they definitely based it off of Seven.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But Seven's a way better. I mean, if Batman's a 5 out of 10, Seven's a 10 out of 10 as far as bad guys.
That could get confusing. That
Yeah.
7 is a 10 out of 10.
Works 90% of the time, all the time.
That's right.
And then The Crow, which they
Oh.
kind of based Batman off of. You want to watch two movies that are far superior than this movie,
The
but
Crow is a great movie, and Brandon Lee actually dies at the end of that. Like
he legit for real in life
He
died.
Gone. Took a bullet to the gut.
Oh, it's so crazy.
That was a crazy scene too, though, when they're all shooting at him on the table,
And
right?
they kept it in the movie.
And they kept it in. That's the scene where he dies. Legit is gone.
Insane.
What do you think about that? Conspiracy theory? The Lee family? The sudden and early departures of Bruce and Brandon Lee? Or just coincidence?
Just coincidence.
Okay.
I don't know. Were they in like the Illuminati or something? What's the conspiracy?
Just that they died so young and they were so fit and healthy. Like,
How did Bruce Lee die?
They said it was like an infection that causes brain to swell. What's that? Encephalitis or something like that?
I don't know.
And Brandon took a shot
Yeah, I mean that was
from a prop gun to the gut.
both pretty fluky.
Yeah.
I think is the technical term. I had a college professor that dated Bruce Lee back in the day. Legit dated Bruce Lee.
Really?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Her name was, her last name was So. I don't want to give her whole name.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to be. I don't even know if she's still alive, to be honest. But
Really?
She was up there.
Dated Bruce Lee.
dated Bruce Lee.
I don't know if Bruce Lee was just amazing or if his legend grew because he passed away, but
Have you
you see some of the footage of him and it's ridiculous.
seen? Dang, it's one of my favorite movies.
Dragon.
No,
The Bruce Lee story.
no.
That's a good one though.
The one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Negative.
Okay, you need to
Haven't
watch
seen
that because they have an actor that looks, talks just like Bruce Lee. He plays
Yeah.
Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
and they make him out. I mean, I guess he had a little bit of a reputation in Hollywood, but it's pretty funny. They have some pretty funny Bruce Lee scenes.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee gets his butt kicked basically,
Really?
but yeah, it's a good little Brad Pitt and Bruce Lee go at it.
And Brad Pitt beats up Bruce Lee.
Pretty sure that's how it went.
Never happened.
I know he gets.
That's not for real.
Well, Brad Pitt was a pretty bad character. Like he was a stunt guy, and
Yeah, but Bruce Lee, I don't know if there's a cat that could take Bruce Lee.
apparently he wasn't all that. I don't know.
Have you seen the
Could
footage?
Jack-
Have you seen the 1-inch punch?
No.
See, you got to look that stuff up. The 1-inch punch, and he puts a guy on his butt. He punches a dude in the chest. He puts his hand like this on his chest, rolls up his fist, and throws a punch. And that dude goes flying across the room.
Look, I like my kung fu heroes better when they don't die of a brain thing.
When they're not so weak that they get an infection in their brain.
That was a joke.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bruce.
R.I.P. Pour one out.
For the homies.
Yeah, so I forget what I was talking about, but Bruce Lee, yeah.
Yeah, so we got to get Ryan on, though.
Yeah, we need to
Ryan's
get
got to
Ryan.
call in. We got to debate that movie. But I got to see it first, so I know what you
should
guys
see
are
it.
talking about.
So I said it's not a bad movie. It's just, and sometimes I'm not in the mood for it, but I was pumped for that movie.
Yeah, they
I
hyped it
waited
up.
a year.
Yeah.
I was excited. Me and Jesse were excited, and I heard nothing but good reviews, so I wasn't expecting it to be bad.
Right.
And then after, I don't know.
Well, we'll get them on. Can you stream that thing yet, or is it only theaters?
Oh no, you can't stream it yet. It's only theaters.
All right.
I think it's only been out for. I think it's 3 weeks. Now.
I know, but some movies hit like HBO Max.
Yeah.
When they go in the theater
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, not this one. I wish.
This one.
I was listening back to our episode last week. I was telling you about Fargo, that TV series.
Yeah.
And I forgot to tell you, it has a lot of tie-in to one of our favorite movies that we can't tell people what movie it is, but we're going to tell them right now. Big Lebowski.
Because that's a Coen
got a lot
Brothers film.
Got a lot of tie-ins. In
Really?
fact, the third season with Ewan McGregor has tons of tie-ins to the bar, the bowling alley.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You should watch that show.
Are there characters from the Big Lebowski in Fargo?
I'm not sure you ever see him, but they do tease a character.
Really?
Yeah, throughout the season.
Have you seen The Jesus? It came out a couple years
It
ago.
didn't look that good to me.
I think it was released in Europe first, or
really?
in France first, and then here. I got to see that.
I never did see it. Yeah, I never.
I feel like I have to. I'm compelled.
Yeah,
to.
you kind of.
Right.
I do love Big Lebowski. It's a terrible movie, horrible cussing, all kinds of stuff.
I think second most F words to The Wolf of Wall Street. I think has. The
Oh,
most.
really?
Yeah.
I could see that.
And I haven't seen that movie, but I read that.
Man, you're missing out on some movies.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street's good too.
Yeah, I haven't. There's a whole list of good movies that I
Yeah.
haven't seen.
Man.
But I will rewatch the same TV show that I've loved
Yeah.
for decades.
What do you
Don't
think-
put that back on.
What's the biggest movie that you haven't seen?
I guess I wouldn't know that, right? Because I haven't seen it.
Like, have you seen The Godfather?
Yeah.
I think we may have talked
Yeah.
about that.
I saw the series. I've watched it a couple
The
times.
Departed. Did you see The Departed?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know.
Maybe The Wolf of Wall Street is the biggest.
It's up there. It's a good movie.
I mean, there's some Star Wars movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be big,
Yeah.
but I didn't really.
I go through phases. My kids, when they get into it, I get into them. But then when, like right now, they're not. They could care less. Yeah, I could care
So,
less.
when I was a kid, what was it? Episode 4, 5, and 6 were the ones that came out when we were kids?
I mean, not when I was a kid, but
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the one came out before I was born, right?
Yeah.
78 or something like that. But
Yeah.
they were still popular.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty popular.
Yeah, those were 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. And then they did episodes 1, 2, and 3. And I only watched part of one of them, and I didn't like it. Maybe it was the CGI or the characters or
Yeah.
the goofy donkey-looking dude who talked funny. Like,
Yeah.
I just wasn't into that.
Yeah,
that guy.
Whatever his name. Yeah.
But then I did see the one where Harrison Ford made his comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler
Force
alert.
Awakens.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he dies.
He dies.
I like that one all right. That was pretty good.
I liked the new series. Everyone else hated on him.
I like the Disney spin-offs.
Yeah, I only watched one season.
Mandalorian. I like
Yeah.
that. I watched that with my son.
Did you watch both seasons of that?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I watched one. The new one, honestly, what's his name? Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor.
Is he Obi-Wan?
He's Obi-Wan. He's coming out. They have
Yeah.
a series of him coming out. Looks good.
Okay.
But
I can get into that. That little mini
he was good in those movies.
yeah.
Ewan McGregor. He's really good in everything.
Little mini Yoda.
Yeah,
I like that little
Baby
dude.
Yoda.
Yeah. That was good. So, I don't know. Maybe those are some of the biggest. I read a thing the other day. Avatar was like a crazy big movie, right? Like super big production. Yeah, I know that people didn't like it.
Hate it.
And I think they said it seemed like, I don't even know that I watched the whole thing, but it was almost like people. Some of the reviews when it first came out were like, who's the producer of that or writer?
James Cameron made it.
Yeah, they thought that maybe it was like drug-induced dreams or something. Like that's kind of what they thought the movie reflected.
Yeah.
But I guess there's supposed to be Avatar 2 and 3.
Yeah,
that have
I think
been
he's
in
already made
production.
them.
Yeah, but that's part of what we talked about last week. I never understand why stuff. If you make it, why don't you release it? Why isn't that?
Yeah. Well, and
Unless it's just terrible.
I've heard like not only that they made 2, 3. They're making a theme park. Like I think he's going all out. But dude, it's been 12 years now since Avatar came out. Maybe
Yeah.
jump on that.
Yeah. Get after it.
Especially, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people did like it. It's another thing. I just think people have bad taste. I think people get tricked into liking things.
Yeah.
I'm
They buy
it was
the
like-
they buy the hype.
they buy the hype.
Do you think that's what happened
used
to
to.
Ryan on Batman?
I think it. Well, see, when I was his age, every movie I saw was my favorite movie for like a while until I saw the next movie.
He's in his 20s now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was still probably until my late 20s. Every movie I saw, like I remember going to see. Oh, what movie was it? Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was the greatest movie ever, but I remember really liking it when I left. And I just recently watched it again. I'm like, that movie is a pile of dog crap. It's a horrible
I
movie.
haven't seen it.
And yeah, I think when you're young, maybe your
You're just
palate's
ready
not
to,
there yet.
You're just ready to be entertained.
Yeah,
no
you just
matter
want to
what.
be entertained. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's maybe Ryan loved it. I'm just saying when I was his age, I liked.
So you're saying you could be wrong about the Batman?
Look, no, but it's not great. It's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not a bad movie.
But it's not top 5.
Not top 5.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, it's not top
I'm
5.
going to go watch it.
And especially,
I'll tell my boss I need to take a half day tomorrow because I got to do some research for the podcast that I don't get paid to make.
My question for Ryan: have you seen No Country for Old Men? Have you seen There Will Be Blood? Have you seen Godfather? Have you seen The Departed? Have you seen name tons of movies?
Yeah.
If not, maybe wait till you make your top 5.
No Country and There Will Be Blood. I don't know which one I've seen. I've seen one of them, but I
There
don't
Will Be
know.
Blood, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to have like a movie review session. You're gonna have to bring me up to speed.
I'll debate anybody on any movie. Don't even matter.
Yeah, you are like the pop culture music movie guru. I take your advice on those things. I trust you.
Well, good. I mean, and I'll admit, like, No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood. Not everybody's cup of tea. My wife hates the movie, and I get it. It's long. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the acting, even the story, every time I watch that movie, I'm picking up stuff. I'm like, oh, that's why he did that. Oh, his brother. Like, it's just, I'm always getting stuff from that. Yeah.
I'm rewatching Breaking Bad.
Okay. That's interesting that you say that. I just finished, probably 6 months ago, I finished Breaking Bad for the first time. I'd never seen it. Finally, I was like, screw this. I'm watching it. Everyone says it's the best show ever. And so I just started this week, actually 2 nights ago. I was like, man, there's nothing on. And I had been putting off Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the final season to be out because I don't want to have to wait.
Right.
But I started watching.
Yeah.
And I'm already 9 episodes in.
Better Call Saul's a pretty good show.
I like it better than Breaking Bad so far.
Okay.
That first season has got me hooked.
It's good. It's good.
It's real good. I love that character.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for him all the
Right.
time, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good. Yeah, Breaking Bad I like to rewatch because one of the things I've noticed now is the lead character, Walter White. So, not that it's a spoiler because that show's been out for some time. 15 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like it.
Or maybe not that long. At least 10 years.
I think the last episode was 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But he takes on a character trait of whatever person he kills.
Oh.
So you start to see that. I guess I didn't really notice that the first time I watched it, but now that I'm watching it the second time, I'm like, oh, yeah. So now he starts to do that thing that other guy did. He kind of embraces that character trait. So each person that he's responsible for their death, he takes on a character trait.
Interesting.
It's I like that kind of stuff. Like when you rewatch something, I like picking up on that stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love the tie-ins to Breaking Bad with Better Call Saul.
Yeah, it's good.
Like the characters.
They did a good job.
Yeah, what's his name? Vince Gilligan?
Yeah.
He's so good, man.
What other shows has he done?
I don't know.
Probably doesn't need to, right? He's probably made a boatload of money.
I hope
off
he
those
keeps
two.
going. I
Yeah.
hope he keeps going. But I don't know.
I didn't. Did you see the one El Camino? It's like the follow up to Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it was okay.
I didn't like that.
I did not like it.
It just didn't do, I think, what they wanted it to
No.
do.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't need to be made, I think. It
Right.
was needless.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like seeing the character. Although he was always kind of my least favorite character. I never really liked him.
Jesse Pinkman.
Even at the end when he kind of turned things, I still didn't really like him.
I feel bad for that guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got screwed. But yeah, that show, I think they were trying, because there were so many devoted fans to that show.
Yeah.
That they were trying to do something.
Yeah.
To spin it
Makes
off and
sense.
do something. But that and
Could have been better, though.
Right, yeah, definitely.
And the scenes where they meet, like, in the diner, it didn't, like, I don't know. I guess the guy who played Walter White, Bryan Cranston, he had changed enough that it didn't feel like a... Because weren't there some flashbacks or something in that movie?
I think so. I don't remember
They're
everything. I just remember, like, kind of being disappointed.
Yeah.
But you see him get away. Like, that's what you want, right? Well, you see him get away in the show.
Doesn't he go
right,
to
at the end of the
Alaska or
show.
something? Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
I don't know where he goes. But it kind of picks up where Breaking Bad left off and gives you a little taste, which I guess you're looking for that, right?
Yeah. There was something else I've been watching. No, Better Call Saul was it.
That's weird you had that on your list.
It is a little weird. Well, I just started watching it 2 nights ago, and I'm loving it. Like today, I watched 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Didn't have time to, but I did it. And I will probably finish the series in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I can't. Once I get a good show like that, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop. But
Yep.
I'm gonna have to. My wife Susan just texted me in case you want to know. Free cone day at Dairy Queen. As you are hearing this on Monday.
Oh, really?
Dairy Queen free cone day.
Just show up and they give you a free cone?
Apparently, I don't know. She just texted that to me.
I wonder how many Dairy Queens I can hit in a day.
Well, we got 2 in the. Oh yeah, because you travel all around.
Oh, I might try to triple or quadruple up free cones.
So that's our broke
Broke
dad tip of the day.
Free cones on Monday.
I think broke dad tip needs a. Excuse me. Needs its own jingle. I think.
Oh yeah,
you
need to work on that sound effect.
Let me ask you this: were keys broken?
Well,
I borrowed my mom's car.
Oh, it's got.
She got the remote start. The first time I did it, it's like, but the key. I couldn't even. I didn't. I'm like hitting start. Nothing's happening.
You got to
I'm
put
like,
your foot on the brake.
I put the key in, and they're like, no, and then they're like, oh, put the foot in the brake, and then finally, and then every time I go to stop the car, I'm like,
there's no key.
Like for 4 days, that's been my life. And then I go to return the car. I return the car. I leave their house. Their house has a remote entry that our brother-in-law installed for them.
Yeah.
And it worked for me fine the other day. Didn't work for me today. Now, I did punch in the wrong code the first time.
Yeah.
Or maybe even the second time. But the third time I had it right.
What's the code?
1, 2, 3, 4. I punched the code in right, and it did the noise. And I even heard the lock go, do the shh.
Yep.
Wouldn't
Still
unlock
locked.
for me. And then I thought, there's a key hole right there. Don't have the key for it because, were keys broken? Like,
I don't know. Well, what happens when the battery dies on the thing and it's locked? Like, then you're jacked up, right?
Was it so hard to put a key in? Same with cars. Like, I like having a key. What's wrong?
I guess the push button start on the car is cool, but I'm afraid that I would.
Is it no?
I would leave the fob or lose it, or
is it cool or is it just different?
It's different, I guess. I guess it's like you're living in the future of your past. Does that make sense? Like you used to see like that. Your talking car, self-driving car, right? Remember Knight Rider or whatever?
Everyone wants to live in the Jetsons.
Yeah, Jetsons, Knight Rider.
I don't know. I just think keys weren't broken and we could still be using keys, and I could have got into their house today.
I use a key for everything.
Yeah.
I do have remote start on my vehicles. I like that.
I had that until it fell off my keychain. But
so your vehicle has remote start, but you don't have the fob for it? Yeah. No, like your wife doesn't either?
She does.
Oh, okay.
Hers didn't.
I bet we could get one.
Yeah.
You just got to match the RF frequency.
I'm the kind of, if I have it, it's cool. If I lose it, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going to put the time in to go get it replaced and all that. And
I don't, I wouldn't install an aftermarket remote start, but my wife's vehicle has one. My work vehicle has it. And I like it. I like that it's warm.
It's nice.
It's real cold outside, but it gets warm in like 60 seconds if you just go start your car anyway. So,
and like I also lost the button thing for our garage door. Doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
I don't replace it.
You're good without it.
Just go and do the inside.
Walk inside, push the button.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It might be a lazy way to go through life, but when it works, it's awesome, and when it doesn't,
it seems like it's a less stressful way to go through life, though. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll just make it work a different way.
Yep.
Yeah. Because other people
keep going.
They're like, oh, I lost my key fob. I got to go get it fixed. I'm going to go spend $300. I'm going to get the RF frequency matched. I'm going to go get a garage door opener. All this has to happen.
That sounds like a waste of a half a day to me. I could be watching Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul.
Which is not a waste.
Not a waste at all.
Comparatively.
I'm still going to get to my story later. I have a good story.
You teased it. You said exciting, right?
I called 911 the other night.
Did you really?
It's that exciting.
On purpose or was it
on purpose?
Really?
On purpose.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to need to know about that.
Yeah, we'll tease that a little bit.
I called I pressed 9-1 on the phone once and must have hit it a second time and didn't mean to, and the police called back.
Yikes.
But there was a guy in my house. I was a kid. There was a guy in my house who was threatening me, and I picked up a knife, and he didn't seem intimidated by the knife. So I picked up the phone, and I pressed 9-1, and I told him to get out, or I'm going to hit that other button. And he laughed, and I hung up the phone, and my phone rang, and it was the police calling back, and actually sent an officer out to check on me.
Wow.
Yeah. I was pretty freaked
Really?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was fired up.
So he was in your house?
He pressed his way. Yeah, I answered the door. He was mad at me. We had some altercation earlier in the day, and so he came to my house. Yeah, I had one or two.
Huh.
And but I was much younger than him. He was way bigger than me, and it was a verbal altercation. It wasn't physical, but he came to my house to make it physical. I opened the door, kind of cracked it open, was talking to him. He pushed his way in. I backed up all the way through the hallway into the kitchen, and he was ready to go. He wanted to fight in my house. So I grabbed the kitchen knife. He didn't seem scared, so I picked up the phone. Yeah, he was probably 4 years older than me.
Oh.
Yep. And so we never talked after that.
Huh.
Yep. That was our last exchange.
I was such a good kid that one time I was prank calling people, random numbers, and the person said, they caught me and they said, "Get your mother on the phone. Who is this? Get your mother on the phone." And I went and got my parents. I went and got them.
That was probably pre-caller ID, right?
Yeah, totally. It was late 80s for sure.
Yeah. And you went and got your mom.
Went and got my parents.
Hey, this guy wants to talk to you. I was
prank calling. I think it might have been me and Andrew McCauley. I don't know. I can't remember.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh, tonight we were talking about. I think I was singing that song. Guess who's going to jail tonight?
Right.
And first of all, it freaked out Joey because I'm not going to jail, just a song. And then we were talking about 911 because I was saying I had to call 911 the other night, and I asked Jesse, "Quick, what's the number for 911?" Which is from that movie, and he said, 7. And then when he could tell it wasn't the right answer, he looked at me and goes, 8? And then I was like, you're getting closer. He goes, 9? I said, yeah. Me and Jesse were like, yeah, 9's 9. And we're like, 3 other numbers.
Who are you?
1.
This is Joey?
Joey,
Oh,
5
okay.
years old. Yeah.
I thought you said it was Jesse. I was like, I feel kind of bad that Jesse.
Oh, no. No. Yeah, so, and then he called, he said something about LeBron James going to jail.
What?
Don't know where they came
I
from.
don't think LeBron's going to jail.
And then Jesse, I said, I hope he goes to jail, just kind of kidding.
Yeah.
And Jesse, my 11-year-old, said, why would you want him to go to jail? I mean, I know he's kind of a jackwagon, but...
Jesse said that?
Yeah. And I never heard him say that before. And then he's like, he paused. He's like, is that a bad thing to say? And I was like, I really don't know. So we asked Alexa, and she's like, Jackrabbit is, and we're like, no,
Jack Wagon. It's on a TV commercial.
Well, yeah.
Old school one, right? Arlie Ermy.
I don't know what jackwagon means. We looked it up, and it just said it's an insult of, But where did it originate?
I don't know. The first time I ever heard it was Arlie Ermy on I think it was an insurance commercial where he's supposed to be like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And he's like treating somebody's like expressing their feelings, laying on the couch, and he just goes off on them like, "Pull it together, you sissy," or something. You miserable jackwagon. That's the first time I ever heard it, and I use it frequently.
I've never used it, and never even thought about it till tonight. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that is something people say, jackwagon.
I approve. Tell Jesse I approve.
What are things like that sound like they should be bad, but they're not really?
Huh.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
Pussyfooting. You ever heard someone just sounds horrible? But people use that in conversation.
You're right. Yeah, that does. That should. Yeah, could be worse than what it actually sounds. Or sounds worse than it actually is somehow.
Yeah, because that's like a legit term that people used to use and still use.
Sometimes. Yeah, it means like you're wasting time. You're screwing around.
Yeah, I remember my kids. I don't even know if I should say this on the podcast, but we were watching a movie and the guy's name was Richard. But his wife called him Dick for short.
Yeah.
And my kids looked at me like,
is that our dad?
I said, well, that is, because is your middle name Richard?
My middle name's Richard, yeah.
And that's what I use. I said, I think Uncle Christoph's middle name is Richard.
Yeah, and Dick is a nickname.
Yeah, that's what people do.
I have an Uncle Dick. His real name's Richard.
Yeah.
But he goes by the nickname Dick.
Yep.
Which I don't know. How did that?
I don't know, because they don't seem to equate, but.
Yeah. Tricky Dick. Wasn't that a president? That was Richard Nixon.
Oh, Richard Nixon. I almost said Bill Clinton. Yeah, Richard Nixon. What did I say?
Bill Clinton. Tricky Dick. That's funny.
I thought.
That's good.
I thought that.
That's pretty good that you connected those dots. Not safe for the children.
Yes. I meant to look up some Mandela effects. Maybe I can do it right now. While I'm doing that, have you ever gone to the grocery store and you get used to getting okay, so I go to Walmart for certain things and I go to Hy-Vee for certain things.
Yeah.
And so Hy-Vee has started having this peanut. We tried it, the peanut noodles.
Yeah.
That we tried it on the podcast, and I eat those for lunch just about every day. They've been out for 5.
Stuff's been out,
2 weeks.
man.
2 weeks.
Stuff's been out. So there's been like empty shelves grocery shopping.
But I'm getting nervous that they're not. And then Turkey Hill ice cream, peanut butter.
Oh, is that
they
going
finally got it in the Midwest. Like, I didn't see it anywhere, and then like a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, I saw it at Hy-Vee. I'm like, yes.
Do they have Turkey Hill orange tea at Hy-Vee?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that stuff's the best.
Maybe every once in a while I see it, but it's not a common.
The orange tea from Turkey Hill.
Yeah, it's
I'd get it from the Amish market with the dude with the pincers. Remember that guy? Yeah, he sold me some orange tea.
But do you ever have things that you get used to getting, and it's like when it's not there, it ruins your
list. Yeah. Well, today I went to Super Saver for groceries because it's close, and I had just been to Sam's Club, so we're kind of stocked up on some stuff, but I needed to get the fresh meats and produce.
Yeah.
And I don't know where anything is, so that's a long trip.
Where'd you go?
Super Saver.
Super Saver. Oh yeah.
Like-
I always have to relearn because I go to. There's two of them here.
Yeah, so I don't shop every aisle in that store. Typically, I go in for one thing or a couple things, but today I was getting more stuff, and that took a long time because I'm not familiar.
Yeah. I did find some Mandela effects.
All right,
So
what do
the
you got?
first one, how it started was everyone thought that Nelson Mandela had died. They died in prison in 1980. That's something that a lot of people remember. Never happened,
Right.
obviously, because he died, 10 years ago, maybe. Peanut butter. Name some brands of peanut butter.
Peter Pan. Jif.
Oh, you got that one.
Or is it Jiffy?
People
Jif.
People swear there's a Jiffy peanut butter, which I probably would have said
But
Jiffy.
it's just Jif, right?
It's just Jif.
See, I was confused, though. Jif. Yeah, is that the only one?
That's the only peanut butter one.
Do you go smooth or crunchy peanut butter?
I kind of like crunchy, but I can't. Everyone else in my family likes smooth. So
Yeah, I like the
tolerate.
smooth peanut butter.
I like crunchy though. I like a little crunch. I like a little munch in my crunch. What's better, fiddle faddle or crunch and munch? That's the question.
I think crunch and munch. I don't know. I couldn't tell you which one was which. If there were two bowls, one of each, I couldn't tell you which was which.
I got some crunch and a munch, actually for our little road trip to that concert the other night, and so I had a big box of it. And I brought it home. My wife's like, "I remember getting this when I was a kid, and they had the little boxes with the tattoo." I don't know if she said the tattoo, but the little boxes of
That
this.
was
I said,
Cracker Jack.
I said that was not. She goes, "No, that was it. Nope, that was Cracker Jack.
But is it the same kind of thing?
The same
Cracker
exact
Jacks,
thing. Yeah,
Fiddle Faddle,
Yeah.
and Crunch and Munch.
yeah." Bugs Bunny. Is it Looney Tunes? Which Looney Tunes is it? How do you spell tunes?
Oh, like the song Tunes,
Yeah, most people think it's T-O-O.
like cartoon.
Yeah.
But it was always music behind everything. That's why it was tunes.
Oh.
Right? There wasn't as much talking in the cartoon as there is now.
Is it the Berenstain Bears?
Yeah.
Wait, these look the same to me. The lovable cartoon Bear family actually spelled their last name with an A. The Berenstain Bears.
B-E-A-R?
Beren. So it was never
Yeah,
the Berenstain
Yeah,
Bears.
it's not like the bear, the animal. It was Berenstein, like a real last name.
I like how you get into all these, like, yeah, of course. Of course it's not Berenstain Bears.
Yeah,
But everyone thought it was Berenstain Bears.
it's not.
That was kind of the thing.
Yeah.
Curious George.
Man in the yellow hat.
Did he ever have a tail?
The monkey? He had better had a tail.
Never there.
What?
Never a tail. Never had a tail.
Well, then he's not a monkey. What kind of animal is he?
I don't know.
We've been lied to our whole life.
My son told me sheep had monkey or
Sheep have monkey tails? That's brand new.
Sheep had
You heard it here
tails.
first.
Sheep had tails. He
Yeah,
went
they
to a
got-
sheep farm and they said they had tails that fell off or something, or they tie them off or something.
They got little nubs.
Well, they didn't used to be nubs, apparently, is what he said.
Really?
Look, I don't know. He learned it on a sheep farm.
Jesse?
No, Tommy.
Tommy.
And he would
Is
pay
it
attention.
possible that he was misinformed?
Anything's possible. The show Sex in the City, is it Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
I don't never watched it. I don't know.
It
is my
is Sex
guess.
and the City.
Uh,
Do we want to keep going or no?
yeah, I'm interested in this stuff. When my brain is wrong about stuff like Curious George not having a tail, that messes me up.
Okay. Who's the brand that? Oh, I wish I were gonna.
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
How is it spelled?
Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
O-S-C. Oscar. O-S-C-A-R. M-E-Y-E-R.
There's an A in Mayer.
M-
Meyer.
M-E-A.
O-S-C-A-R M-A-Y
M-A-Y-E-R. It's Mayer.
M-A-Y-E-R.
That's Oscar Mayer, not Oscar Mayer.
It is.
Been lied to our whole life.
Isn't that weird? Let me find a good one here.
But yeah, that's O-S-C. Isn't there a song?
Yeah. My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Kellogg. Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
How's it spelled?
Fruit?
Mm-hmm.
It's spelled like fruit. And loops is L-O-O-P-S.
Incorrect. It's F-R-O-O-T-L-O-O-P-S. They spell fruit wrong in Fruit Loops.
On purpose.
On purpose. That's a weird one. I would have sworn that it was.
Does anybody wonder why I'm dumb?
Monopoly Man and his monocle.
Oh yeah,
we went over that one last week.
Yeah.
All right.
It's disappointing. I might get a monocle to make up for the Monopoly Man not having one.
I mean, it'd be your thing. Like people, oh yeah, that guy with the monocle.
I
know him.
I know that guy.
Hunter's laptop. That is the one news story I wanted to talk about.
It was written off originally.
Yeah.
Like you're a conspiracy theorist or fake news or whatever you want to call it.
Well, even the president in a debate said that's Russian misinformation. 300 people.
Joe Biden said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the president. He is the president.
Well, I didn't know if it was.
No,
you said
know.
in a
I know what you're
debate, so I didn't know if it was current.
I know what you're saying.
Or former.
And like 300 people had signed. Blah 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 blah. I mean, Lindsay Stahl, whoever that reporter is for 60 Minutes. No, there's no,
no proof.
No
right?
proof. Blah blah blah. Turns out totally correct.
Really?
A lot of people knew it. I mean, it's just totally correct.
So what's happening with it now?
Not much. You think it'd be the biggest?
Is he going to jail or?
You think it'd be the biggest story. You think it, but no, it's not really being talked about.
Well, because
interesting.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, and and there's the ties to Ukraine. Like it's just crazy that. And honestly, I don't want to get too serious, but how is that not election interference? We talk all day about election interference.
Yeah.
How is that not election interference? Guy that's running for president whose son is having, that kind of thing go on, and then get up in a debate knowing that it's accurate. I mean, he has better information than us. He lied about it. I mean, it's come out now. He lied about it.
Yeah.
You can say, oh, he did. Maybe he didn't. He knew and he lied about it because a lot of us knew, or some people, and and he lied in debate and said, and even not even that, blamed it on Russia.
So here's what I think. I had this thought the other day, and I didn't know about the Hunter Biden laptop thing coming out as being true. But I was thinking, when we get to our presidential candidates and they have their debates, and then, this is after the primary. So you have your candidate for each party, and you go into the election season, and they do their 3 debates, and they do their town halls, and they do all that stuff. And you for a long time, I always looked at it like, who is the better person, right? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a better person.
Well,
I think that we're really voting for who's the better criminal.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and that's the thing, like,
which is kind of sad.
I
had that sad realization just a couple days ago.
That was the whole thing with the Biden thing is, I'm not ever going to vouch for Trump's character, but the whole Biden thing was that he's a saint and he's really a good guy, except for when you dive even a little bit into his past, that he blamed the guy that killed his wife in a car accident as a drunk driver, was never drunk, like all this stuff. And I don't know, just all the turmoil that's happened in his family. I know it's not him, but it is a reflection on him.
I just think, look, you don't get to that position of power.
That's true too.
Without being dirty.
I think they're all dirty.
And so you're just voting for the best criminal, and that's disappointing to me. Yeah. But I guess it's
don't play the game of they're all this guy's moral and this guy's not.
Yeah, neither of them are.
Neither of them are.
Neither are.
And that's what bugs me is like, oh, there's a good guy and a bad guy. No, there's not.
No. There's just a better bad guy and a worse bad guy.
Yeah, they always say the lesser of 2 evils, and it's pretty correct.
I think so. It's sad.
It is sad.
But that's the way it is. Look, I knew it was all over in, I guess it was 2016 primaries when Trump won the nomination, and I'm thinking, dude, there was a brain surgeon on stage.
I know, Ben Carson. And they were calling him stupid.
Yeah, he's the dumb one. Like, he's the smartest guy out of all 16 candidates or however many they had. He is a freaking brain surgeon.
Because he talks weird. I mean, geniuses, hey, newsflash, geniuses talk weird.
Yeah. Geniuses are a little weird.
Geniuses are a little weird.
Yeah.
He was a little weird, and they made on SNL, man, they would tear him apart every week like he was some dummy. He is a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon.
I mean, they do the same thing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, you can hate him, whatever. The dude's brilliant.
He's a genius. He's like mad scientist.
He's a mad scientist.
Right.
He literally is a rocket surgeon.
Do you have the name of his next kid? I saw that come out. Like he named his kid like some weird symbol or something, right?
Yeah.
Aeon Flux or something.
Look, you got to be a genius to be that stupid. Is my thought.
Yeah.
That's my new saying. You got to be a genius to be that
it's
stupid.
like beautiful mind stuff, right? These guys,
they go crazy.
I've heard them talk about like populating Mars and like all his theories about doing that. Like if it took 10% longer for consciousness to form, it never would have formed. And he's talking about evolution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to track because his mind is in that spot that mine never will be. but you recognize that he's a genius.
Yeah.
But he's going to name his kid a symbol, right? He's going to say weird things. He just sold all his houses. I just read that.
Oh, yeah. He's living in like a box or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
1,500 square feet.
Whatever his girlfriend, fiance, wife, whoever she is, his baby mama.
Yeah. What's her name? I can't remember her name. She's weird too, but.
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye West is a musical genius.
Yeah. And he's off the rails.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
When Joe Rogan interviewed him, he said he's just thinking on a different level. He's on a different planet.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
And so, yeah. So back to when Trump won the endorsement for the GOP, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If you got a brain surgeon up there and he's not at least a part of the conversation, I'm not sure what else to do.
I know. Now, to Trump's credit, he did bring him on board, but
yeah.
But
I'm thinking.
But he also made him.
I'm thinking of all the candidates. We ended up with Hillary versus Trump.
I know, it's so crazy.
That's not a good look. We're not in a good spot as a country.
And I think they're secretly friends. I think they secretly, maybe, or at least one time, they did enjoy each other.
Have a secret handshake, you think?
Yeah, they had a secret handshake. But here's the funny thing about Trump.
They got dirt on. They got dirt on each other.
Oh,
right? There's no two ways about that. They got dirt on each other.
He made Ben Carson like the something of housing, didn't he?
The housing and urban development or something, right?
Yeah,
Bud.
like maybe put him in the medical
maybe
field.
Surgeon General.
I don't know.
Right?
I always thought that was funny.
He already has surgeon in his title.
I mean,
so maybe
he is smart and he could probably figure things out for the housing. But I don't know. Yeah, it was always funny to me.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw him in there. Throw
Health
him a
and
bone.
Human Services or something.
Yeah. All right, we ready for my story?
I want to know your story and why you called 911.
What's today? Sunday, Friday night at 10:30 p.m. My wife was actually working. She was working at church late that night, and so I'm home alone. The kids just got to bed, and I'm sitting down, probably to watch Better Call Saul. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear, like this. I mean, I felt it in my chest. Have you ever heard like a car accident and you feel it in your chest? And my first thought was, okay, there was definitely, because I live at a 4-way stop. There's definitely a car accident. I hope it wasn't my wife.
Yeah.
I also hope it wasn't my mom's car who I was borrowing and had it parked in front of our house. Both things crossed my mind. So I jump up, and it's like one of those wrecks where you hear it, and then you hear the like the horn is just steady.
Just going,
never a good sound.
Right.
Where it's just going, because that means someone's probably passed out on the wheel.
Yeah.
I look out. There's no one around, and I see a car in my neighbor, catty corner's neighbor, his front yard facing the house. So my immediate thought is he went by our house and then crashed into this brick house.
Yeah.
Not what happened actually, but that was my initial thought. And I look out and I don't see anybody moving in the car.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh, someone's definitely dead.
Yeah.
I need to go out check it out. I have 5 sleeping kids and a baby sleeping in my house. And I don't have pants on. So the first thing I do is I call 911. I thought, I need to call them first. They need to get here. So I call 911, and the lady's like, okay, is the person breathing? I'm like, and I just told her, I don't have pants on. I'll run out. I will run out.
There's a 911 recording where your response to the 911 call screener is, I don't have pants on.
I don't have pants on. I glossed over that, and then I said, and I have 5 kids and a sleeping baby. I will go out there.
Yeah.
I said, my wife's not home. I will go out there, but first I need to kind of get myself together and run out there.
Are those recordings public record? Because we got to download that.
Okay.
I don't have pants on.
So I did get pants on, and anyway, I gave her my address, name, and all that. And at that point, other people were calling. She said, okay, we got another call of that, so we're heading that way, and I hear the sirens. So by that time, I get outside, and there's like 4 other cars that have now stopped and are already up to the car. And I walk out, and then the cops pull right up, and the guy comes out. The guy that was talking to whoever was in the car, or at least up to the car, came out, and he goes, "That guy he's definitely drunk or something."
Oh wow!
And then about 2 seconds later, I noticed that it must have been the passenger of the car is sitting on the curb, and she's not too banged up. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm still thinking they hit the house, or maybe hit a tree outside the house. I don't know.
Yeah.
And nothing else looks banged up. The yard looks tore up in the front.
Right.
And then finally, the ambulance shows up, and they get the guy out of the car, and he actually walks to the ambulance. And I didn't see his face. He had to have been bloodied up.
Right.
But he walked to the ambulance, so good on him. Well, then I hear the story and I see what happened. So they actually went through. They were coming the opposite direction down our street there, Broadwell, and they didn't hit the turn there.
Yeah.
They went through 2 yards and 2 fences, smashed into a trailer.
Oh, jeez.
And hit it with such force that the trailer's in the back, the driveway's in the backyard, basically, off the street. Hit that so hard that they end up in the front yard facing the opposite direction. Tore up the guy's whole yard. He just got these trees done, I think, too. Like, he just got some landscaping. It's all tore up. Everything's tore up. And, so they were pretty messed up.
They were cruising and he was drunk.
I heard 80 miles per hour is what I heard. I mean, it had to have been at least that because the boom was so loud. I mean, it hit it. I don't know if the trailer was empty, but he hit the trailer and the trailer hit up against the house. And I mean, it was, I felt it in my chest.
What's the speed limit there? 25, 30?
It's 30. Yeah, I think it's 30.
And he's going 80.
80.
Holy cow. And
80.
walked away from it.
Walked away from it.
Well, I guess they say, like, the drunk dudes, they're so, like, loosey-goosey, so floppy in the seat that when
sense.
they get in an accident, they don't stiffen up and they often make it through.
So then I call Susan and I'd just given her the lowdown. And I look out as I'm talking to her because I go back in the house because I'm listening for the baby too. And people are starting to gather and I notice, oh, there's a lady in my front yard. And then I walk out. It's one of my neighbors that I hadn't met yet. And then a couple people start gathering in my yard. And then I look over and there's we have a little field in front of our house, a little park.
Yeah.
And there's probably 15 people gathering. All the neighbors are coming out. Everyone
it's a
heard the
major
crash.
event, right?
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock Friday night. And I go over and I'm kind of asking people, hey, what happened? And, everyone's kind of conversing. And I was taking some pictures and all that. And so I'm heading back and I'm going to text Susan the pictures. And I'm almost to my street. It's in front of my house. And I hit a pothole or a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And I crashed on the pavement. I crashed over the sidewalk, and I wiped out so hard. My glasses went flying. My phone went flying, and I was beat up, and I knocked the window. I hit the top, like my collarbone. Luckily, I didn't hit my ribs because I think I've broken those twice, and don't want that to happen again. Luckily, I landed on my collarbone, and I knocked it so hard I knocked the wind out.
Yeah.
And
all those people still standing around?
All those people standing there. I mean, 15 people. And there were some college guys that were right there.
Yeah.
And they're like running to mine. They're like, dude, are you okay? Oh my gosh. Like, I wiped out like crazy. I didn't catch myself at all. And I was hurt. I knew I was hurt immediately. Yeah. But I jumped up and I'm like, oh, I'm good. And I walked into my house. I was in basically my front yard, and I walked in and just crashed on the couch. Yeah. And I actually thought for a minute I was going to pass out. It hurt so bad. So I got Susan on the phone. I'm like, hey, this just happened. And about 3 minutes later, I was fine. Although I woke up the next evening, I felt like I had been in a car wreck. Yeah. I'm fine today. My knee's a little scraped up, but it was... I had to be in front of all my neighbors. Right. And then I jumped up.
It's so funny you don't want help. Like, you're like, I'm good.
And I was basically running from this guy. He was coming to help me, and I'm like,
don't touch me.
I'm good. Oh, I'm good. So, yeah, that was when I called 911. That's the second car accident I've seen this year. I hadn't seen a lot of car accidents in my life. But the other one, I was parked at our Taco Bell. Am I boring you?
I'm exhausted. Sorry.
I'm kidding. I was at our Taco Bell drive-through, and I was just sitting there, and I hear, "Goosh!" And that's another one. Like you feel it in
the
your
Taco
chest.
Bell parking lot, or
no,
out on the road.
It was out on the main road here in Grand Island. But yeah, it was like Highway 80, and someone just T-boned somebody. They both lived too. Everyone's good in that one.
But, I've seen a bunch. I've been in several car accidents. I've seen a few as well because I drive so much. Yeah, like you're bound to just see it, especially around like the Capital Beltway, DC. Just traffic's crazy, so you're going to see fender benders and stuff. But I was leaving Kent Island, headed back to Easton, and I was going over the Kent Narrows Bridge, and I saw this vehicle in my rearview mirror was flying. So I actually got over. It's a 3-lane highway. I got in the left lane because they were like kind of bobbing and weaving and driving super fast. Yeah. I was going about 60, and this SUV, I think it was like a Ford Expedition, passed me going like 85.
Yeah.
In the right lane, and she started to just kind of, when it looks like somebody's not paying attention, like they're not intentionally changing lanes. So she's in the far right lane. She goes middle lane, left lane. I'm like, what is she doing? And she goes into the median, across the median, doesn't tap the brakes, into oncoming traffic, and smashes head-on collision with the oncoming vehicle. And so I pull up. I tell Honey, we got the kids in the back. I tell Honey, look, call the police. Tell them this is the mile marker. It's westbound Route 50, just prior to Kent Narrows Bridge. And I jump out, and I get to this vehicle, and somebody's helping the vehicle that had crossed the lanes and caused the accident.
Yeah.
What was crazy is she had 3 kids in the back of that, none of them in seatbelts. Everybody was fine.
Oh, my God.
The vehicle they hit.
No seatbelts?
Yeah, and they all were fine, like walked out of that car. Little kids, too. And the car they hit was actually your childhood friend, Jason Day's mom and sister.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I, like, ripped the door open and pulled these 2 ladies out. And they landed helicopters on the highway to medevac them out.
Were they okay?
Yeah, I guess his mom had, like, some internal stuff. She ended up being all right. But it was weird because I didn't know that that's who they were.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I knew Jason. In fact, we were working together at the time. But I didn't know his family. I didn't know his parents. And she was desperate for me to call her husband. Like, that's the only thing she was really worried about is she's laying on the pavement waiting for the medevac helicopter. He's going to be worried. We're supposed to meet him. Can you please call him? So I took my cell phone out. What's his number? She gave it to me. What's his name? She gave me his name. I'm like, wait, is that so? And, is this Jason's? She was like, yeah, Jason's my son. So I was able to call Jason, tell him, hey, you should go. They're going to transport him medevac.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see it happen. Like, watching it on TV is one thing, but to see it in real life is just the sound, like you said, the sounds.
It's just
it's hard to explain it.
Yeah. You feel it. I mean, you feel it in your chest, the crunch and
When you're in the vehicle about to be involved in the accident, everything feels like slow motion.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I've only been in one accident. Actually, the weird thing, my only accident, Jason Day driving on the Bay Bridge.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we were on our way to get some. Yeah, we stopped. We were on the Bay Bridge, which is, if you don't know, it's like a really high bridge in near Annapolis, Maryland. It's 5 miles long. Gets super high, and we weren't quite to the top, but we were heading up there. And we stopped, and all of a sudden we hear behind us, and
it just slammed into you.
Lights out. We were dead. Now we're in purgatory. No, but the funny thing is,
podcast is purgatory.
right after the accident, I felt hot stuff all over me. And I'm like, oh crap. It was just coffee. We had both had just got coffee, I think at McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
And the other crazy thing is, with that accident, it crunched. He had a Volvo station wagon,
right?
Which they're safe cars. Yeah. It crunched that thing. It totaled it.
Yeah.
We almost took my little Honda Accord. And I think had we taken that, I think even someone told us, had you taken that, you'd been, after seeing the car.
Really? Wow.
You're crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'm a walking miracle.
Yes, you are.
I'm a miracle man.
Yeah, you are.
I wasn't driving. That's what I always tell Susan. I've never been driving in an accident.
I have been. Yeah. Only one was my fault, I think.
It's always your fault.
Is it?
I think so.
This old lady ran a red light. Her name was Ernestine. That's a good old lady name.
I'm probably going to die in a car wreck. Yeah, it is a good old person name. I'm probably going to die in a car wreck this week. But if I do, it'll be kind of funny to listen back.
It'll be somebody else's fault.
But it won't be because I always have my head on a swivel.
Okay.
Always looking around. That's why I tell my kids, I'm like, you need to be looking out for other people.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to be looking out for you. I mean, you drive good, but look out for other people.
I took your dad's motorcycle out yesterday.
Oh,
I went for a ride. A couple hours we were out. And that's the thing. When you're on a motorcycle, you start to see the road different because you're anticipating somebody else not seeing you. So even though it's fun to ride and it's relaxing, you are very much on the swivel, right? Because people just don't see you.
That's why I told my kids rode their bikes to the park today, and I said, cars are not looking for you.
Right.
You have to look for cars.
Yeah.
They don't, especially our neighborhood, sometimes they fly through there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
There's kids around.
I want to buy a paintball gun so I can shoot the cars that either the guys that are like banging the bass at 2 a.m. and I wake up from it, I definitely want to pepper their car with paintballs, or the guys that are going 50 miles an hour on this 25 mile an hour zone. I just want to light them up.
I have an evil dream.
Okay.
My wife Susan will attest to this. I tell her often, and sometimes at night when we hear that car drive by, there's a car around here that just has bass that's off the. I know what car it is, and one day I will find him.
Yeah.
and I will slash his tires, and it won't be me.
I will
work
find
at a
you.
church. I have a particular set of skills.
That's pretty good.
I have a particular set of skills. But my
gonna slash
secret
his-
dream,
you're gonna
if
slash
I
his
was
tires?
like, if I was Dr. Evil and had a bunch of money and could just do like crazy stuff, what I would like to do, I would like to have like a cord, a nice cord that just lays, maybe even it goes underground or it just lays across the road.
Yeah.
And it goes across the road, and a pole on the other side of the road is tied off, goes into my living room and right up to my couch. And when I hear the bass coming, I just pull a lever, and the cord comes up, and their car just chops in half. Or if they're going too fast, and I just hit the button, and they're done.
I love that.
I'm sorry, it's evil, and I
that
know it's
your-
bad.
I love that your plan, if you could make it happen, involves you not getting off the couch.
It's got to be hooked up into the house, because that's when you hear it. When I'm just sitting on my couch, or when I'm sitting in home.
I love that. You're like, if I could do anything at all, I definitely wouldn't get off the couch.
You just put the kid to bed, and here it goes, boom, 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 and I'm like, button, done.
You know what's funny
Or
is
it doesn't even have to kill them. It can cut the bottom half. It can just
Yeah,
cut
just
their
take
tires.
the- yeah,
But you are
take
not
tires
driving
off.
that car again.
right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
But in my dream, it would kill them. I'm sorry.
I just want to do the paintballs because I know that would annoy them.
Yeah, the paintballs, yeah.
That would bother them.
I have thought, I actually saw him one day, and I didn't put two and two together, but I saw him actually over by, not too far from your house.
Yeah.
And it was rattling my car.
Yeah.
And I looked over and I saw the car. And then since then, I'll look out and it is that car that, I mean, there's more cars that have bass, but there's one in particular in this area that the bass is so loud. It just, I mean, 3 a.m. and it just shakes stuff up. And I'll look out and it's a gray, like suburban looking car.
Let's get some paintball guns.
And I will find you.
Let's do
You're
mine.
out there and I will find you. If you're listening, your days are numbered
But before that day comes,
for that day.
let's annoy him with paintballs because that's fun.
I'm in.
Yeah. All right.
I want to, something's got to go down.
I think we could just like sit on the roof of my house or your house,
Yeah.
right? Just wait for him.
2 more things I had
Yeah.
that have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Just things I jot down, just thoughts I had.
It's random thoughts with Josh.
And I know you like what I'm about to say. Do you love it secretly when plans get canceled, even if it's something that you want to do? Do you love it when plans get canceled?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Like even tonight, I want to podcast.
Yeah.
And you texted me, and I was like,
If you when I text you, what time are we doing this? If you had texted back, I just don't feel like doing it. Let's do it tomorrow. I would have been like, all right.
all right. Even though we like doing
Even
it,
though I enjoy doing it, and I was fine with doing it at whatever time.
Yeah.
Had you canceled, I would have been like, yep, that's good.
Yep.
I'll be on the couch.
that might have been what jogged my thought on this. But yeah, I all the time. And I like my job. I like leading worship. I like doing music at church. When that snow comes on a Saturday night, woo! It's like a school.
You're
day.
like a little kid.
It's like, yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm texting my dad like, we canceled church tomorrow. My dad's
Dad,
the
we
pastor
still
at
on?
our church.
We,
Hey, you
we
see the
still
weather,
on?
man?
We good?
We can go and cancel
Looks
now.
like it's going to be bad. You might
Yeah.
preemptive.
preemptive. And last thing, not really a thing. But
I don't like when plans get canceled if I've had to travel somewhere and they get canceled when I
Yeah.
arrive. That
E-
bothers me. If I put in work, then the event must go on.
even then, I kind of am like, all right, I get to turn around and drive home. Okay. I don't have to go in and do this thing. All right. I've been doing something to you when I see you driving around. Have you noticed?
You do something to me when you see me
When I see
driving.
you driving.
I never see you while I'm driving.
Well, we've run into each other, in a parking lot. I have a new thing that I'm doing.
It makes me laugh hard every time. I've seen it twice. Has it been more than that?
No, I might have just been there twice, but it's a
When
reoccurring segment.
You bare your chest.
I flash Christoph.
He bears his chest in all of its hairy glory. And I lose it. It is so funny to look over and see Josh with his shirt pulled way up,
The first
just exposing himself to the world for humor.
The first time
Just
we were
for fun.
driving down the road, and it hit you, and I knew it hit you just right. And then the second time I did it, and I had to hold it a long time because you weren't looking.
Yeah.
Your wife saw it,
Right.
and then she was laughing, but then it kind of died down, and I
Right.
was like, I'm still just sitting here with my
Yeah.
shirt up, waiting for you to see, and then you saw it and laughed. But
Oh, it gets me good every time.
it's fun.
And I think your wife said something to me. She was like, if you wouldn't laugh at it, he would stop doing that. And I said, I can't not laugh at that.
And I don't
is
know that
hilarious.
that's true. I think for a lot of people, it'd probably be true. For me,
Not
it
for
probably
you.
wouldn't. If it's
Yeah.
funny to me, I'm going to
You're
do
just
it.
going to keep doing it.
Like my impressions. I think it's just funny to me sometimes.
But looking over and like at one point, I don't know what road we were actually driving because the second time was in a parking lot.
Yeah.
But the first time we were driving, I don't remember what road we were on.
Where we were. Yeah.
But for you to come pull up beside me, and we were kind of acting like we were going to race, which of course we're not because we're both in like family vehicles.
Yeah.
So we're acting like we're going to race, which is good fun. And then you kind of slow down, and then you speed back up, and I look back over, and your chest is fully exposed.
That was not a premeditated
comedic timing
thing.
is good there.
Yeah,
I like it.
And I love to lift my shirt. Me and Corn Pop back in the day. I love to lift my shirt.
All right. Well, I guess should we call it?
Yeah, but we should encourage listeners, for the sake of this podcast, bare your chest to someone.
All right, quick disclaimer. I'm cutting in here. This is Josh. I'm editing the podcast. Quick disclaimer. We are talking to the fellas. That's the gauntlet being thrown down. We're not talking to our lady listeners. We know you're out there. We know you listen. We appreciate it. We're not telling you to go flash people. We are talking to our male listeners in that's the gauntlet being thrown down. Quick disclaimer. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Yes.
While you're driving.
This week. Make it a goal.
And then report back.
And also keep it on the...
Gooch, baby.
Peace. My baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My baloney has a second name. It's BOLOGNA.